Uh, okay, here we are. We're recording. We're successfully recording with Andrea and William, and we are talking. I forgot our topic. Who's got it?
Me!
Okay,
I'm
Andrea.
gonna blow it! Oh! No. Our topic is about you can't meditate because meditation will not resolve deep-seated personal issues and challenges. And William brought this topic up and then completely tested us, I feel like Mr. Miyagi himself. And I'm certain meditation will not help my challenge right now. So please, William, help us understand why meditation can't help our personal problems.
The idea is that self-directed meditation is absurd, that you cannot meditate. You can drop your defense mechanisms to hidden personal issues and allow life to meditate through you. This can come initially by connecting with something that allows you to internalize your perception. In other words, our senses and our intellect are constantly trying to do one thing: deny the inner world. We're only trying to control and keep out and manage our external lives. So the greater that we have the experience to grind down to a stop, to slow down and reverse our search, the more that this energy is going to come up to take action. If you learn to take action from an overflow, not a squeeze, then you can get more done more efficiently. The principle that I want you to remember, and I want myself to remember, is that you've got a lot of external circumstances in your own body and mind, in your relationships. And those external circumstances are really not an objectified thing. They're not like over there, your body over there, your relationship over there. It's really something that you feel deep within yourself. And only if you feel profoundly safe can you begin to look at where your resilience, where your power, where your strength, where it all resides. It's not with the intellect and senses saying over there, the person over there. Every time that we do this process of finding out what it is that's inside that's going on, we have that much more stuff come up. And what I'm advocating is that you strategize to create in your life moments that ripple. Reading a line, doing the dishes, so forth. There's a threshold for how powerful one moment can change things. So if you have a terrible event, then that terrible event echoes in time, and it defines your future, defines your attitudes and behaviors. The more terrible it is, the worse it creates circumstances. The more out of control you are, the less you can manage yourself in your life. If you have a wonderful event, you experience a waterfall, you experience hope in the relationship with your child, with your loved one. Now that vibe starts to echo through your genetics. When you do meditation, you really have to do genetic meditation. You need to have experiences that are so profoundly nourishing that it shifts your neurology. Dr. Eric Kandel, who won the Nobel Prize in brain science, often considered the greatest brain scientist in the world, said in a documentary about meditation that to know yourself, to understand how you work, is amazing, it's fantastic. And that neuroplasticity is the last frontier of medical science. So you have a terrible experience, that changes your neurology, that changes your children, that changes everything. You have a wonderful experience, that changes everything. Can you expose your personal issues enough right now and not be the meditator or be the teacher? Be the student. Can you let life meditate through you? That's the idea that I'm getting at here. You can structure it. You can structure it.
I cannot. No, I'm. You know, it's so I feel like it's just a backtrack. Thank you for sharing that. But just to backtrack as far as what everybody is just watching this video now, right? But what we were trying to do, the three of us, for 2 hours was figure out technology and like how to stream live and how to get this message to you live. And the first time we taped it, it didn't go right. And so it's just like, I don't know about you, but this is a clear example of what is happening to everybody right now. It's just like this angst inside of me. And I'm like, I just want to freaking give up. I don't care. And then I think, well, what am I going to do with myself if I just walk away from this right now and I leave you guys here to go do what? What am I going to do? So I better do something that's like productive with my stuff that I'm feeling. So can you help us understand? You always talk about this 3-step process. And so step 1, for me, is like just admitting that I feel so misconjumbled and like bleh right now. And so if I were to meditate right now, I'm just trying to get out of my feelings, but I feel like, can you share with us step 1 so that people who are also feeling this way can get a little help?
Listen, we're all stuck on addiction. The problem of the human psyche is that it wants an outer solution for a personal problem. So when you're presented with the stillness of a lake or the beauty of a waterfall, you can handle it for a second or two. Take it in, wonderful. Okay, back to action. So we all like do little drawing of the bow and little shooting of an arrow. And we're stuck in this obsessive cycle. We don't really draw the bow. We don't really target. We don't really shoot an arrow because we're not calm enough. What I mean is that there's external things that you need to take care of today. You need to get certain things done. And that's a great thing. So if you can strategize the next 5 minutes or whatever it is that we're doing this, to do the step 1, remove the covering, do it again. Find out that you're actually grounded in certain aspects that need care, that need education, that need guidance. Take that off and get grounded. Find out that that's true. We try to avoid it. We do anything but to see that we're actually a student or we're actually the recipient of the sunshine and the recipient of the rain and the recipient of friends and the recipient of blessings. I mean, you've got eyes that are amazing and nose that's amazing and ears that's amazing and body that's amazing. No computer in the world can do what you can do. So you have all these blessings, but that's not enough. Only what's different, that's addiction. Only what's new, only what else, only something different than right now. That's the only thing that we want. So step 1, BBSS, bubble bursting, sucking is sucking. You got to have a need if you're going to have a solution. You got to get to genetic meditation if you're going to find solutions and be satisfied and contented and empowered so that you can see the field and say, oh, I do need to get this done today, and have energy, precisely focus on it and get it done. But I don't want to talk about the outer thing right now. You as a mind, you as a body, you as a set of circumstances, you as a biological biography that you can see within yourself. Because if you tell the truth, the cortex, the brain, the senses, it's only looking at your body, your biological biography and the circumstances as though they're all these separate parts. There's not the embrace of a beautiful scene in nature or a friend or a blessing or good news that makes you feel safe to say, okay, I'm going to discover more personal resourcefulness, because you're stuck on resources. And that's why the resources in whatever measure are lacking, because we don't realize it's about resourcefulness, not resources. So step one, remove the covering, breathe into it. Find out now within your mind and body where it is that you need to be cared about, and let the sunshine in. Let the sunshine in. That's my new thing, to do that when I say it. And just bring it in and calm down. Step two, access subconscious processing power. So if you have a good moment, it's going to ripple through your life. The whole purpose of this course is defining how you can have more of these good moments, independent of circumstance. Step two, slow down. Alpha waves, theta waves, that's the genius. So when you're alone in a scene in nature and it's beautiful, the eyes go inward, you see everything, you feel your body, you see your life, and you can really turbo process. You can really understand stuff. But when you look at me or look at anybody else, there's this subject-object thing. There's not the same courage as you have in your master self, the sleep state, the beautiful scene in nature state. You got to merge those two states. And step two, you slow down. You find out the scent, the sight, the sound, the thought, and that's your religion. What works for you as an individual, the belief. And you repetitiously go ahead and bless the eyes, bless the nose, bless the ears, bless the centers. Now these little engines in your body, chakras and cells, they start to hum and you start to feel better, just like if you had a moment of great news. Okay, so we know that as a principle, one moment can change everything. That the moments of experience in our lives are determining the experience and quality of our lives. So why not choose to have some great ones? 10 seconds, pause, reset, find out what's going on. In the 3-step process, you're training. You're training the skill of being able to access that moment. No skills developed without endless, boring repetition. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Remember that quote? Practice, practice, practice. We don't want practice. We want to go on top of our brain and our body and our circumstances, be revealed in our mastery self that we know secretly, and get on with getting a piece of cheese, getting something to add on top of ourselves. That's what a lot of Qigong practitioners and energy practitioners do. You take the energy, you get a little blessing, but you put it on top of the disturbed frequencies. So it can even make things worse. You could get the blessing for a moment, but what I want you to do is get the blessing for a moment and invest it into your own self-reinvention. Only species that survive in nature are those that self-reinvent. You and I have to morph into better versions of ourselves. We can't do that if we're stuck in shock. If we feel that there's not one person in the entire world that cares about us, that's not reasonable. It's not reasonable to think that there's not one person wiser or something that can guide us. So we don't keep the sun out and we keep wisdom out, and we try to always be revealed as the one that's in control or the leader. Step 2 can happen in your own way with your My Favorites list. The thoughts you like, the teachers you like, and you just start to surrender to the massage. The massage of something else caring about you for once. Now, it doesn't have to be according to anybody else's idea or terms. It's just your list. So you've got to split time and say, I'm going to put the essential oil on my nose and smell it. For me, I'm worth it. I'm born worthy. Andrea wrote the book, Born Enough. Hey, you are. But you can't get to it unless you tell the truth of the unmet need and not mask it. Oh, I'm frenetic, or, oh, stuff's going on. So we're just trying to cover that reality of ourselves, which is resolved in step 1. Step 1, take the covering off. Be revealed as imperfect in process. Have the courage to show it. It's okay. Life, air, sunshine cares about us. So you got to find some time when you're looking at people to be able to be the recipient of grace and love and kindness and all that, rather than having to present something so that you can get something. Trust life enough that you can be revealed honestly. Everything else takes care of itself. Now we're all in process, so don't ask me for some kind of completion date for this stuff. All right. Step 2, the slow down. Hormones change. Breathing pattern changes. Pulse change. Brainwave coherence change. One moment does that. You have a moment of great news, click, 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 click. All these systems change. You can measure it. So imagine the best news you could imagine right now for yourself as an individual. Let's talk about yourself first before caring for the other person. Put the oxygen mask on. There's a lady that's a good friend in town. She owns stores here, a bunch of stores. And I'm always talking this stuff, And she says, I don't know about that. Put the oxygen mask on. She won a philanthropist award. She used to be a lawyer. Now she owns these stores, and she won some big Colorado philanthropist award. She's always helping people. That's great. And I'm thinking of Kara right now, a little bit. Yes, servanthood is the crown of human achievement. And it's found on you having something to give. So I'm just one beggar telling another beggar where to find bread. In step 3, you find this moment where you go beyond understanding all this stuff. You say, okay, I get the general idea, step 1. I get the general idea, step 2. Now I'm going to go beyond it. Now I'm going to bring the waterfall experience and the horse experience and whatever it is that's cherished in your life to myself to be nourished, so that then I can really go help people's lives, because you got the magnetism. Step 1, 2, 3, like that, as a training, can be done in a longer amount of time. In the program, we do a series of 10-second things like rest your eyes. Let's rest our eyes, 10 seconds. Fingers on eyes. Put your fingers on your eyeballs with your eyelids and see if they're moving around real fast. That's an indicator that the internal thought and processing is just extraordinary. Calm down, 10 seconds. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're waiting in a line, every time for the rest of your life, endless repetition. I'm going to adjust my weight distribution. Which toes are talking to the earth, which aren't. Over time, the experience of taking a dip in the flow has an effect that changes you from the inside out, changes your life from the inside out. It's the best that we have. I don't have a solution. I'm not going to pretend like I have some solution. Come on, who's got a solution? There's no solution. But you can make things better. So there's a 5-minute series that we'll explore in the workshop. Real Zen, real yoga, real Qigong. What the science says and what the scriptures, the deepest teachings say. So you explore these things. Oh, I like a little bit of this one, I like a little bit of that one. Custom designed stretches. Do you have a right shoulder thing, a left lower back thing, neck thing? So you begin to develop your own path in life that you can trust in, that you can surrender to and feel nourished now. And if you can feel nourished now, when you get done, whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 3 in the morning, because it's more important than sleep. When you get it done, you're going to really do something out there in the world, okay? So it's primary, these kinds of things.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. The workshop that William is talking about is a 2-day intensive that we'll be doing streaming live. It's coming up at the end of April. Anybody is welcome to join since we're going to be doing it virtually. So you can find the information on how to reserve your seat in the About section of the event. And I just feel like, you know, these steps, like he said, what he gave us was a literally like a nugget, a golden nugget for them. And there's just so much more. And like he also said, it's kind of taking them and then making them your own. So that takes time and practice. And so hopefully that you guys feel that calling to really make a change. And I feel like at this point in time, the best investment is in yourself. So, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. And all the information to get signed up and get your seat for this is in the events page. Do you have anything else you want to add, Danielle or William, before we end?
No, I think that was great. Thanks for giving us a sample. We'll see you at the event.
See you there.